What is up, everyone? Welcome to Body Code Games. My name is Cody. So today's video is tips for when you release your first indie game and things that I wish I would have done better now that I have released my first indie game. So we're just going to go through a bunch of notes that I have written down to kind of like my experience of releasing my first game. And one more thing is, guys, take a break. I feel like I was so overworked with my job, game development. I was so burnt out the last 2 weeks. That's why I don't think I posted a video in like over a week, like doing YouTube, my job, my other job, and game development. And doing stuff for like RPG developer Bakin, like the DLCs and all that. In the last like 6 months, I've been so burnt out. So I've kind of took a break the last week. Just mainly focused a little bit on myself and my new job. We'll get into that in a little bit, but I did switch my warehouse job, and now I work in a rehab, which is amazing. I've always wanted to help people, but that can be for another video. But yes, tips when releasing your first indie game. This is a big one for me, is make sure to check your Steam community page. Because for some reason, Steam does not give you notification when a comment or a post gets posted on the Steam community page. And I felt like that hurt me a lot because after my game was released, people were commenting on, asking questions about the game, like, hey, how long is it? A lot of people want to know. I believe I had 5 people comment, hey, how long? And I didn't even know they didn't. The composer for the game said, hey, Cody, check your community page. There's people asking about it. I was like, what? I didn't get any notifications. And that could have hurt my sales. I believe it did, because I did not respond to them until I think it was like 5 days after they commented. It's because I didn't get notifications, and I didn't even know. And it kind of sucks because Steam doesn't do that. I don't know if there's a button where I can click, but I'm pretty sure I looked everywhere and can't find it. But people were asking, hey, how long is this game? And one person, since I didn't answer for a couple of days, a couple of people came back and commented too, wanting to know. And they're like, oh, the game's probably not that. They said something. It was kind of rude, but they're saying no wonder the dev's not answering. It's probably short and not whatever. I forgot. Not worth the money or something. And I don't know. Like the dev doesn't care about his customers or whatever. And that wasn't the case. So that's another thing. You have to have thick skin going into this. I knew that from the beginning. But, seeing stuff like that, like I'm not trying to hurt people or do stuff like that, to where... it really sucks because there is a lot of hurtful people in this world, and they have questions. I would never go on to a video game developer, like whether it's AAA, indie, be like, oh, since this developer is not answering me, I'm gonna kind of just trash him a little bit. I wouldn't do that. Just some people, I just don't get it, and maybe they don't know I'm one person. That's another thing. People don't know. Some of them are just regular game players and not someone like you and me watching that we make video games. A lot of people don't know that, the developer side of video games. So they could be me because maybe they think it's a huge studio and there's multiple people working on the project. Like, hey, why is this person not answering on Steam community? Like maybe I have a hiring person, a rep to do that for me. I'm doing everything by myself except for the music. And to see stuff, it is a little hurtful. But I finally, it was out of my hands. I didn't know about people commenting, but that's one thing I'm going forward is I'm checking my Steam community page, and I wish I would have kind of known that Steam doesn't give you notifications when someone does comment in that section. And then another person left feedback, which I didn't even know either, and that was in the Steam page. No notifications, but luckily they're super nice, and I reached out to them, apologized for the late reply, and I replied to everybody, apologizing, and hopefully that's okay. So that's tip number one, check your Steam community page. I do not have a Discord for my game. That's another thing. If you have that, you probably have to check. There's a lot of stuff you got to check and read out. Let's see. So that's one tip. That is very crucial because I believe I did lose some sales because of it. Because if Steam doesn't let me know when someone comments on my thing, when the developer comments back on these people and it's been 5 days or whatever, they're not going to get a notification about it. So they probably just pretty much blew me off. Another thing is you cannot please everybody. You'll have people say stuff about your game that why is this feature not in it, or I've heard everything in the last 2 weeks about the game, where I would fix stuff and then I would hear stuff like, it kind of blows my mind because it's an RPG. And some people were saying stuff like it's a turn-based. They're like, why is this turn-based? And it says it in the description, and people didn't like it because it was like turn-based or something, and it was moving a little bit slow. But that's what this game is. It's turn-based. It's in the description. That's what I wanted to base it off of. But, it's just, I know a lot of the newer generation of players may not play turn-based because there's not many of them. There's very few now. And I feel like the older generation, like me, myself, I'm 35. I love turn-based, and we grew up with it. So we're okay with it. But the new player that may not have experience from what I've done or what you have done, if you do like role-playing turn-based, old school games, they may not like how slow-paced it is. So you can't please everyone, and I try to speed it up just a little bit. And there's just a lot of stuff, a lot of stuff that people do not like. They're wondering, why is the story like this? Asking about why is the story going this way? And wanting me to change the story. And I'm like, this is my game, this is my story. It's crazy. It is crazy. So you cannot please everybody, and do not let people get under your skin. And I do want to please everybody. That's what I am. I'm a people person. I want to make people happy. But you just can't drain yourself too much to do it. So another thing that I've heard is, what price should your indie game be? I thought $15 was on the cheaper side of this video game. I guess it depends your team, how much work you put into it. And then I figured I was stuck at 20, and then I lowered it down. Hold on one second. Let me pause this. I got a phone call. I am sorry about that. It had a phone call. But where was I talking? I think we're talking about game pricing. What should your game price be? So I was going to go at 20, which I'm glad I didn't, but I went 15. That's what I thought was pretty cheap. But I was wrong. I had a lot of people like, hey, this game is too expensive. And this is without even like playing it. And maybe I should have done it cheaper. I may have sold more maybe if it was cheaper. I should have took that into account, but I thought 15 was cheap, and I did a 10% discount to where it was like $13.50. But everyone lives different. Some people, maybe $15 is a lot of money, and it is a lot of money for some people. That's like 2 hours of minimum wage. So, but I thought it was cheap for myself, and that's why I did 15. But maybe I should have done it cheaper. And then listening to other podcasts and hearing what they're going to price their games at. For instance, Thomas Brush, his new game, the Twisted Tower that's coming out, he said something about he was going to put his game at $20. I said, oh, shit. And I've been following his game for a while, and damn, 20 is cheap, for that type of game. So now I'm like, damn, I should have done mine cheap, because my game is good, but it's nowhere near the depth of what his is. So maybe I should have done it different, to where maybe I should have done a $10 game, but it is what it is. I'm not going to make it cheaper now because it wouldn't be fair to the people that have bought it. But maybe in a year or two, maybe I'll make it go down or something. But that's another thing you got to tell yourself is what price do you want? Because you can have a price that's so high, people are not going to buy it. And I feel like that's what happened with me because a lot of people, hey, man, this game is too high. How long is it? Is it good? And people complain about the price of the game. And I was wrong. I thought 15 was cheap. So be very considerate of what you price your games at. Because nowadays on Steam, there are a lot of AAA games that go on sale. And you can find games cheap. And I should have realized that because I've seen like some of them, even Sea of Stars or whatever, after that game's been out after a year, I believe that thing dropped down to like $15-20. And, that was with a bigger studio than mine. So I should have thought about it. And I should have made it probably lower. But I felt like all the work I've done by myself over the last year, I felt that was fair. So maybe on my next game, I'll kind of see what it's looking like. And I'll kind of base it on the price. So another tip. Definitely test play your game with a bunch of testers. That's something I did, but I did not do it enough and not with enough people. I didn't have enough test players. But I could probably count on my hands and my toes how many people that were playing the game prior to release. And there are still a bunch of bugs, and I feel like that hurt my game a lot, is the bugs and the test playing not getting it ready in time, which comes to another, my other tip is, should I have waited to release this game until I really got into it? I personally thought the game was ready, and it was ready, but there was still a little bit of bugs, the people that were criticizing the game, very good criticism, by the way. It made the game better because of them. The one that led for the review saying like the animation, the battles were too long. But I've been playing it for the last year making it, and I thought it was normal, because I'm from that old school, like, okay, if an attack takes 2 or 3 seconds, that's kind of what I was raised on. But a lot of people are like, hey, it's too slow, and I didn't know that. So I had to go in and fix everything. I remember the first week of launch, I did nothing but fix the game, and it stressed me the fuck out. And I think that's why after like this whole week, I've kind of shut everything down. I'll still look to make sure if anything needs to be fixed, I'll go in there and fix it. But luckily, nothing too major happened. So that's why like this whole week I've been like resting and just not thinking about game development, dude. I was burnt the fuck out. You gotta think 13 months of this, of working 2 or 3 jobs plus making this video game by myself every day. I didn't have a day off. When I had a day off from my 9 to 5s, I would still come home and work on this game. And I was so burnt out last week, and I'm still burnt out, and I'm going to get back. I'm going to give myself another week of not doing any game development unless it's got to do with Besotted, and then I'll kind of refresh, regroup, and see what I want to do moving forward, because a little bit, this game took a lot out of me, and I didn't realize how hard it is to release games and make games. And you would think that the hard part is making the game, but it gets harder after you release it, because then bugs come and you have to fix it. You got a little time period, a little window where people can refund the game if you don't fix it immediately or respond to them, and you would think it would be easy after you release it. The hard part's done, but it's not. It's the same. It's the same hard. You gotta get in there and kind of fix stuff that may be broken, or people don't like it, and you may have to kind of tailor it to some people to, please people. So the work is never done, even after you finish your game. It may not be as bad, but now it's like people are trusting you and spending their hard-earned money that they worked for on your product. So, you want to make sure they're happy. And it's stressful when they're not happy, and you want them to make them happy because you want your game to be successful. So I have learned a lot doing this, and I'm proud to say I've released a video game. Not a lot of people do it. And I feel like it was good. It was a good launch. I was able to fix some stuff, get in there, but I wish I would have done this, fixed it prior. I feel like I should have waited a little bit because the game in its state now is 20 times better than when it was released. A lot of people could have picked it up, refunded it. I only have 3 refunds, thank God. It's not anymore. But still, I'm pretty sure those 3 refunds are people that say, hey, the game might be too slow or something. The battles, which I fixed it and sped them up a little bit. And another tip, by the way, is you're going to get so many fucking emails asking for Steam keys. I was like, where are all these people coming from? No one's emailed me about the game prior to release, and all of a sudden I literally got, I swear to God, no lie, about 12 emails a day saying, hey, my name is so-and-so. Can you send me 3 to 10 keys so me and my team could play it and we'll leave reviews? And I did nothing. I did not send anybody fucking nothing. Because I first thought, yeah, I want to do that because I want people to leave a review. Then I clicked their profile. Some of them left their Twitter link, even their Steam community page. But some of them, like the Twitter page, it said, hey, this user has not been last online in 2 years. So it's like, that's where these scalpers come in, where you see like CD keys. That's what they do is they email these developers, and some of the developers just send them keys hoping. Maybe they will leave you a review and play it once, but the other 5 to 10 Steam keys you give them, they sell it. And that's why I didn't do it. I did not give out any keys. And if you're watching this, and if you are one of those people that emailed me and you are legitimate, just I got so many, I just stopped. I would click, kind of read a little bit, but saw the same thing. Hey, me and my team, and I'm sorry if you're like one of the real ones that actually want to play my game with your team. If so, leave a comment, because I feel like the people that actually do want play my game would probably be someone watching me. It wouldn't be random people. I've been here for the last year and a half documenting all this, but don't do it, guys, because your games could get on the black market and get sold on those websites. So I would be cautious of them unless, you really follow through with it and kind of see if they do have a community, then maybe, send it to them. But I just got so many, I got burnt out, and I didn't do any of it. So those are the tips I have now. It is a huge relief off my shoulder after releasing it. But definitely, guys, those are the tips I would look out for, is to make sure you check your Steam community page. Second tip, you cannot please everybody. Third tip, you have to have thick skin in this business. Fourth tip, what price should you price your Steam game, especially if it's your first one? And what is this, fifth tip? Make sure you test play and get a lot of play testers. And make sure when you have enough feedback, you fix everything. I didn't do that. The play testers I did have was like friends, people deep in my circle. I didn't really have many people on the outside, which I should have. I regret it now. Next game, I'm definitely going to give out keys for people to test play it. And I guess the last tip is I probably should have waited to release this game maybe another week or 2, or either that or had more test players prior to launch. That way I could fix everything that I got feedback after people bought it. But do not be discouraged, guys. It's a hell of a journey. It's fun. I'm excited for my next game because you've done the hard part. Now it's the second game. Know what they say? Most indie developers release one game and that's it, and they're done. Especially if it doesn't do good, they're gone, but I'm not going to be gone. I'm going to keep making games, and I'm going to make the second game even better than this one. So I just want to progress in my life and my game development. You know, if I sold 10 copies in this game, I want to sell 11 in the next one. So yeah, those are the tips. Don't be discouraged. Keep chasing your dreams. It is fun, guys. It's a hell of a journey. It's a learning curve, and you feel better, and you're learning. So it's good. It's good. Not many people can say you can do what you do. So thank y'all for watching, and until the next one, I love y'all. And don't forget to take your breaks.